Hello there. My name is Amanda, and I'm the person who developed this course for you using the TABE Tutor Practice materials. I want to show you how to work with your math tools when you take a test. So I'm using the second workbook materials, and you can always review this video in the introduction folder if you want to go back and review that again. But you can see that all the lessons are here. Each folder has materials for a given lesson. And I'm just going to pick on this one for a second because I want to show you some of the tools that are available to you. So when you log into Schoology, you sign in with your email and your password, you go to the lesson that you're working on. And you will see in each lesson that there is an actual lesson. There is a page with all of the videos, the terms, everything that you need to know. And then to get credit for doing your lesson, to get your time for adult education, you have to take the assessment. So again, to do an assessment, you just click on that little puzzle piece. That is the test for each of the lessons. So you should only attempt that quiz when you've finished watching all of the lesson materials. Okay, so again, just to demonstrate, I'm not going to answer these questions because this is actually one of the tests for lesson 44. It is the test for lesson 44. But I want to show you what the quizzes look like. So I'm going to click on the title of the quiz, and you can see that I have already been working with this quiz because I want to show you this feature too. So it tells me at the top, this is quiz number 44. It's called Measure Angles. You can take this quiz up to 20 times. There is no time limit. So if you want to come back in a week and review this quiz, you can do it again up to 20 times. Now you notice here I can start an attempt. I do not have a grade because I haven't finished the quiz. If you get interrupted in the middle of your quiz, you can come back to it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on the word resume right here under action and take a look at this first question. And this is actually the first question of the quiz. So you're seeing what the quiz looks like. This is a multiple choice question. So to answer this, you would just use your computer mouse to click one of those answers. But what I want to show you is this menu right here. This is called the Math Tools menu. So let's just take a look at each one of these and I'll show you how it works. So the first one is a it is a question. There are 5 questions on this test, and it tells you where you are in the test. So we are on question 1. If you want to go to question 2, you can do that. So this sort of just lets you navigate around in the quiz itself. There are different types of questions here. There are multiple choice. There are, that's a multiple choice. This one. There's matching, it's where you have to drag an answer. I'm using my mouse to do that. So I just drag that answer where I believe it should go, and then I pick up another one and I drag it where I think it should go. So that's how the matching feature works. There is also a fill in the blank where you see this box. You actually type an answer in there. So just using your keyboard, you would type a number. You will not put commas, you will not put words. You may need to use a decimal. But in those fill in the blank questions, you just type in the number. There are, I think that's all, multiple choice. This first one, though, I want to show you, it's asking you to actually measure the angle. And it says that you may use the protractor in the Math Tools menu. So I'm going to come down here and show you that while I'm not. I'm going to just go in order. So this first button, this first option that looks like a calendar, That just allows you to move around in the test. You can jump from question to question. You can come back to a question, whatever you want to do. Okay, the next tool looks like a little man in a circle. So let's click on that one and see what we come up with. This allows you to change the color scheme. Some students with learning difficulties may need a different background. So, for example, I'm one of those students. I have dyslexia. So, different backgrounds can sometimes really help me out. That one is not for me. The green is not bad. But if you have vision issues, if you just like a different screen color, you can change that. You can also change the font size. If you're like me and you have difficulty seeing a computer screen for a while, you can set that to whatever font size you want, and it will enlarge the font for you. So these are accessibility features where you can change. You can zoom if you want to, change the size of the print and the color scheme. The next one is a flag, and that will allow you to flag an item. So I'm on the second question. I can tell that right here. And if I look at my first icon, you can see that question 2 is flagged. That is a clue for me to go back to that question. Maybe as I'm taking the test, I'm thinking, I just can't deal with this right now. So I'll flag that question and I know that I need to come back to it. This feature I love. This is the Eliminate Choices feature. So let's say that I'm looking at this answer and I know that it can't possibly be option A. I can click on that and it will mark that out so that I know I have already checked that choice and I don't want to use that one. This is the process of elimination, where you try different answers. You know those are not the ones you want to use. You can eliminate those. If you want to bring those back into play, you just click on that pinstripe thing and it will eliminate them. It will put them back into your list of choices. So you can use that. That one is especially helpful if you have a lot of choices. Eliminate the ones that you can, and then you can focus on what's left. Okay, the calculator. I have enabled the calculator. Now, if your teacher tells you not to use the calculator, you don't want to use the calculator. Do what your instructor advises you to do. This is a scientific calculator. It will do square roots. It will change the positive to negative, those kinds of things. This is not the Casio calculator. So if you have the Casio, and that's the one that I'm giving you instruction on in the lessons, use that one because that's the one you would use on the HiSET exam if you're taking that. But again, talk to your teacher about the calculator. You want it to be in degree mode, so make sure that degree is marked through, that you are in. It should automatically do that for you. Okay, the next thing is a ruler. And I love this one because I can move that ruler with my mouse wherever I want it to go. So if I wanted to measure this segment of the line, I can tell you that it's about 1 3/4 inches. You can also rotate that ruler around if you need to, just using your mouse. You can turn that thing and use it the way you want it to be. If you don't want to see it anymore, you just tap on the ruler picture over there in your tool menu. The next one is a protractor, and again, it will work like the ruler. You can rotate it. You can move it around to measure angles. You line them up. We talk about that in the lesson, how to actually use a protractor. If you don't want to see it anymore, you click on the icon. And then if you scroll up, there are 2 more tools. There's a notepad, which works just like scrap paper. So I have an Apple Pencil. You can type in this area. You can probably, actually, it didn't recognize my cursive. It says soap paper. I meant for it to say scrap paper. But the notepad's there just if you want to make notes. You can type in there whatever you want to do. And then this last feature that looks like that funny X, that will just make it go full screen like it would on a YouTube video, or you're probably familiar with this one. So that funky looking X is a full screen item. So you can see I'm on question 2 down here at the bottom. I can touch question 3, move to that one, question 4, move to that one. You can move around. If you want to exit full screen, you click the X up there and you're back to your regular screen. This one, if you forget what those icons mean, what the little pictures mean, if you click this arrow right here, it will tell you what each of them mean. So not only do I see the picture, but I can remember what each picture represents. So those are the tools. I would always advise you, last thing before you submit, I would go back to review. Make sure that any items that are flagged, you can unflag them so that you know, hey, I have dealt with this. I don't need to deal with this anymore. It's no longer a red flag issue for me. And then when you're ready to submit your quiz, you press finish. And you can see finish in lots of places. It's not just going to be on this screen. If you go through all of them, once you have provided an answer for all of them, it lets you review. So you automatically are brought to this screen to make sure that you don't have flags. And then you can submit your quiz. Now let me show you how to see your grade, because that's what a lot of people want to know. In order to get credit for doing this lesson, you have to pass the quiz. Just to do the quiz is not enough. So if I go out of this quiz, let me go back to, hopefully, to my profile. Sorry, I should know this. I'm not sure what it's doing here, so you can't hurt it. You can just navigate back where you're going. But to see your score on a quiz, you go over here. I'm looking at my course menu, and over on the left there is another list of menu items, and that's where I see grades. So I'm going to click on grades, and that will show me my lesson quiz. Okay. Now, I'm not sure where I got 100% because I hadn't even submitted that, but I'll take it, okay? I'm not sure what that means, but 100%, of course, means that I answered all the questions correctly. If you look at your, I know where that's coming from. That's from Course 1, where I did all the quizzes in Course 1 to check them, be sure that they are written correctly. So the lesson quiz average has nothing to do with this particular workbook. I haven't even started that. The minus signs or dashes show me quizzes I have not yet taken. So here's where those hundreds are coming from. This was from the first workbook. And I wrote those quizzes. I went back to check them to be sure that I had no mistakes. But you can see your whole grade book. Any lesson that you've done, you can look back in there and see how you did. So if you come back and let's say you scored maybe a 50% on a quiz, and you think, I need to go back and review that just a little bit, you can click on that particular quiz, and it will bring you back to that. So you can take that again. And you can see that on December 7, 2020, I took this quiz at 10 in the morning. It took me 2 minutes to do it. I made 100%, but I can still try that 19 times. So if I want to do it again just for practice, I can do it again. So that is just a look at how the quizzes work. Again, if you've done the Math Workbook 1, that has lessons 1 through 23. And then Math Workbook 2 is going to pick up with lesson 24. So you have 2 different workbooks there. and that will take you through all of those more advanced skills. If you have questions, please contact your instructor. He or she is there to help you. They can help you and they want to help you. So please do not hesitate to ask. I hope you have a really good day and I hope you enjoy the course. Bye-bye.